to be a lot of explosions onto the screen here. And I feel like with a character like Snake, when you have such a deep kit with so many different possible styles of expression, their player individuality is going to come out most in who is approaching and who is actually going to be playing back in a ditto quite like this one.
Absolutely. So something to kind of look forward to between their two styles of play. Grape is more of the set up the wall, I'm going to set up my arena, you're not going to come towards me, as we kind of see right now. Whereas AK is a little bit more aggressive between the two of them, can be very patient in his own right, but I expect a little bit more of this, where you see them kind of at 4 or 5 character lengths away, and we kind of see bombs away right as kind of our meta right now.
Ooh, and Grape getting caught shielding a little bit too much on the platform, gets hit with the grab, but fights the way off of that situation. And yeah, Presensu basically just even. They're both just sort of throwing their respective projectiles from opposite sides of the stage, but this is an incredible position for AK right now. Snake, not amazing out-of-ledge options, and AK just really ledge trapping him.
And something to keep an eye on is how they will come back to that stage with those limited options. That was twice in a row that we saw Grape actually go super high and then immediately fastball and air dodge down to the ledge. AK ready for it, getting the up tilt and getting that first stop.
That was the right idea. That down smash should have led that directional air dodge. Happened to the best of us. C4 is going to take off that first stock on Apollokage as Grape is evening it up. And now, of course, Snake, known for his egregious damage output, 47%, couple of hits, easily make that back.
Yeah, just like, listen, 2 grenades right there was an extra 20 on top of it.
Oh yeah.
Some absolute shenanigans going on in the platform warfare there.
Yeah, the same exact situation as it was on the last stock. Apollokage, though, always has those up airs after the explosion. He's always positioning for it. He gets that back in, and now all of a sudden, what was a good lead has now become an excellent lead.
Absolutely, and it's that continued explosion pressure that we saw right there that made that difference. That back air, I believe, was either a shield drop or a shield stab right as he was coming out of that jump.
Man, this is a funny matchup. I don't know what else to tell you. They just both, every now and then they just take like an intermission from like close quarters combat and just like keep throwing stuff at each other.
No, and it's funny because I was talking to some people going into this and they're like, oh man, I don't know if I really want to watch a Snake Ditto. I'm like, no, the Snake Ditto is sick. Because you have these moments where both of these players have these exact same tools, and just like you said, we have like these 15, 20-second intermissions where everybody stops to think for a second, and then they are just absolutely mashing on each other's shield because one of them is going to get broke during the set.
Oh,
I'm calling it now.
But right now, Apollokage just trying to lock down that platform with the C4 here, goes through the back here, Nikita off stage, forcing the directional air dodge and misangling it. Apollokage made it back on. How do you actually land here? And does indeed successfully reset neutral. Both of them slowing down the pace of the game for just a second here. Could be whiffing that grab, but still at a safe distance where Grape could not whiff punish it.
Absolutely, and so here's a big thing right now. You see Grape trying to find this stock because he doesn't want to take too much. We talk about all the time when you're behind against Snake, trades don't benefit him at that point. But now you have 2 of them with 2 grenades at all times going, and that is going to be a C4 stop. AK with the smart play there, and is going to take game 1.
That was a little bit more one-sided, or at least really strongly in favor of Apollokage than I had initially anticipated going into this match.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more aggressive between the two, but I feel like a lot of the reason why Apollokage won that game, because comparatively between the two in the respective advantage states, Apollokage was the one that was getting some more edge guards. Apollokage was the one that had more follow-ups as well. Just like, this is something that I love about his gameplay specifically. Compared to a lot of Snakes, his situational awareness is nothing short of excellent. He is ready to convert to follow-up off of any grenades, and his utilization of them is honestly just phenomenal.
I'm really interested to see if we maybe see the switch here. Because Smashville, of course, being such a small stage, and you have these 2 okay, we go for the wider with still the low plat, so I think we might still see the 2 Snakes. I was going to say, if we go Smashville, I wouldn't be surprised to see the character switch.
This is a stage where as soon as you have one of the Snakes trying to land, they're going to have a really difficult time. You don't have a lot of places to go besides A, you either land on the platform, or B, you find yourself on one of the different corners of the stage here. So yeah, going to maybe be a little bit more of a polarizing game. Really good punish on that neutral air from Grape, able to make it back onto the stage nice and safe.
What I wouldn't give to have the input readers for both of these players so we can see how many times the B button is pressed in each match.
How many times the B followed up by the analog stick, and how many B releases we actually see coming out of the two?
I think this is probably peak. Like, I don't know if we're going to get a higher round than this.
Yeah, I don't even know what other matchup would justify something like this. Not even like a Belmont Ditto would have the sheer, BPS, Bs per second.
You can see the dare out. I had someone refer to that as the Steermaster the other day, and I was like, that looks pretty good. I like that. Ooh.
Yeah, working out those legs, getting those hams up.
Well, listen, you do not get glutes like that if you're not on the Stairmaster, that's for sure.
Are you looking at Snake's Blues?
Absolutely.
Right now, once again, they've sort of moved on to the opposite sides of the stage. You have the left and right here. Apollokage going to be looking for that up tilt. Good spot dodge into the F tilt from Grape. This is a much more even start than we saw last time around. But how will Grape close? That was the difficulty last time.
I would even argue that it looks fairly similar, but the difference was that AK found that up tilt super early. This was actually all the way back up to about 160% before AK was able to take that first stock. But that's the big difference, right? Is that now twice in a row he was able to take stock 1, which means this happens.
63%, all but guaranteed off of a single grenade. The grenade into the up tilt and then getting another hit afterwards. Apollokage, situational awareness. I will talk about it again and again and again. He squeezes every single drop of damage out of Snake. Looking for this other Nikita here. The low recovery going to be keeping Grape nice and safe. Able to make it back onto the stage. Shielding, but not plus enough, or excuse me, not unsafe enough that Apollokage just couldn't shield the other up tilt.
Yeah, at this point, Grape is being turned into wine, Dara. Just absolutely getting mashed.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I really appreciated that one. That wasn't even just like a classic like wine bit. That was going through like the whole mash, the fermentation bit.
Correct.
Phenomenal stuff.
Correct. Thank you.
F tilt though. Whoa, what? That was sick. That was so sick.
Okay.
That was disgusting.
So, Dara, in this hypothetical where we may have exchanged wagers leading into this match, what exactly would be your preferred method of payment? Because that was really, really rough for Grape.
I like Cash App.
Okay.
I'm a big Cash App guy.
I got Cash App.
Fantastic. So let's talk about that last situation. I love that from Apollokage because we saw that double jump from Grape, and that's not even a bad position to double jump or anything because what are you going to do? Air dodge?
Yeah.
You get back there at 5% and you're going to air dodge when Snake is super like active and able to press another button at a moment's notice? Like, that is a really brutal position to be in here. And so Apollokage guessed right, put Grape into that funny little unconventional situation and got that early spike thanks to, of course, the Meteor Blast line. If you take enough knockback at a certain point, of course, Ultimate shoves up a second secret little blast zone on the bottom between the camera line and the bottom blast zone. And if you're ever like, damn, why did I just lose to that spike? That just happened. Also, talk to us. What is this?
So we see the switch to triplats here, and despite the 3-stock that just took place, AK is deciding to opt for the Mario. A little bit curious.
The win into the switch. A little, maybe Apollokage is having fun, but that is a little disrespectful in a way.
I wouldn't even say, I don't even think it's AK being disrespectful, right? I feel like there's some sort of gameplay here. He doesn't strike me as that type of player to have that as kind of his mindset.
That's not necessarily his driving factor.
Right. Like, it's not to show up your opponent, especially when it's another, like, Snake main, right? Like, you don't want to do that to your brethren.
Okay. Apollokage, though. Oh, excuse me, Grape. Now that we actually have only one Snake on the screen, I'm still, like, associating him so heavily with Apollokage here.
Sure.
Right now, honestly, if I'm Grape, this is actually a little bit of a breather. I can relax it just a tiny bit here. That's not to say that Apollokage's Mario is free, of course, but it's not his Snake at the end of the day.
Right. And that, I mean, in your experience, have you seen the Apollokage Mario very often?
No, I've never seen it before. I don't know if this is something that comes out on maybe some streams. I don't know if this is something that comes out in bracket at all. But either way, right now, it is doing good. It's a little bit minimalistic, right? Just sort of looking for all these individual neutral wins. Grape just trying to get a bit of space here, tossing out a couple of grenades. Apollokage going to be using up that flood. And this is a much slower... Same brain cell. That's a Snake mindset.
We are pushing buttons in the neutral.
We're
just
holding
two
up
characters.
in A.
Two characters just separated by a couple frames.
And you know what this is? The first time that Grape has had a lead, albeit a very gentle one, in this entire set thus far. 144%. Now it's time to get a bit of extra credit, and Grape is absolutely finding it. 34% and climbing, and this is what we talked about. Snake and those trades, it's just going to keep trading up and up and up and up, and all of a sudden, listen, if you're up in points by a single pawn, and you keep trading up, you're going to win because you have better pawn structure. That is the beauty of chip damage.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, 56, we've seen kind of like this similar gameplay that we're seeing between the dual Snakes was what we're seeing with AK's Mario as well. Very patient, very spaced. You're looking at multiple character links between both players here.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if that benefits Mario, right? Because, I mean, Mario is your, I'm going to land with an aerial. Here's my up air, here's my down air, here's my back air. I'm going to come in. I have this priority when it comes to my aerials. I'm going to be pushing buttons in your face. And if you're kind of staying at this arm length distance from Snake, I feel like that benefits Snake in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't get to sort of play at that distance as you were able to succeed in previously. And Apollokage, up until now, I mean, he's not been getting any of those really big Mario combos.
Right.
That's another really good catch on the landing with that up tilt there. Grape, now with an even bigger lead than before. We talked about that extra credit. Well, now it's coming into play because Grape is only at 53%. Despite being on triplats, Apollokage has not yet had any big, funny little Mario combos.
Oh, we haven't even seen a throw yet from him. I mean, we've been on the entire game.
Okay, though, you know, just as they say that, up air into down air, classic, just went through the finisher, went through the damage.
Did land there, so does have his double jump, but the Cypher going to bring him back to the ledge just right away.
I really like that cave because you have both the chance to reflect, and listen, if you're a little bit too late with that, you also have the chance to ledge trap. Grape did come out of that situation unscathed, but that was just like a good choice from Apollokage.
Oh my. They're going to live through that. Battlefield big, Snake big. The grenade, on the other hand, going to catch it out. That's really how you want to cover that.
That is something that I thought we were going to see in the Snake Ditto. I was like, hey, can't they just like toss a grenade up to be able to punish Cypher?
Yep.
And Apollokage is like, you know what? I don't need Snake to be able to do that. All of a sudden, it's completely evened up. The second falling up and did not connect. That would have been huge for Apollokage.
Yeah, no, that was a really huge moment and maybe a turning point in this individual game 3 here. And it makes you start to wonder what happens when Grape gets that first win. Does it continue on to 4 if we get there? Does it continue on to 5 if we get there?
Yeah. I guess we'll just have to see who and goes for the tech chase there, misses it, of course, as Grape just sort of stood up in place here. Goes through the jab, not able to punish the neutral getup. Now Nikita edgeguard has to reflect it, does so successfully. The up B hitbox, keeping Apollokage nice and safe. Getup attack from the ledge. What do we got?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was no way. No way. The grenade biting Grape twice. So I was going to point out the fact that the actual get-up attack blocked